Great, okay, let's make a start. Let's just reset my timer here. Okay, welcome everybody to the Matrix Fitness Live workout. My name's Matt Gleed. This is our last workout of the week. We have got, obviously next week starting again. Today, conditioning workout for you. I've got 3 rounds of exercises. What we're going to do is the first round is going to be leg focus. Second round is going to be a little bit upper body and a little bit of core. Third round, we're going to focus on the fitness again. So what we're going to do is just create a little bit of space. I'm going to ask you to travel from side to side. So please give yourself a little bit of room. I'll give you an alternative if you don't have enough room as well. And I'll do every single repetition with you, giving you some options of progression or some regressions if you need to as well. So hopefully you can make this workout appropriate for you. What I might do to begin with is just start to open up your arms wide. Start to get a little stretch across your chest. Mobilizing through the shoulder joints here. Starting to create that little bit of freedom. Now what we're going to do is just start to rotate the body, just pivoting off your feet, moving from one side round to the other, creating this large range of movement just so you can free up the spine. And you can see as I start to pivot through the hips and through the foot, just like creating a little bit of mobility into those joints as well. Okay, now what we're going to do is take you into a little half squat. So just lowering your hips down towards your heels and stand back tall. As you start to do this one, you're going to draw some blood into towards those upper leg muscles. That'll help you get ready for some of the movements that we've got coming up early in the first round of exercise that we're going to do today. Let's start taking a little bit deeper if you feel comfortable to do so. Just work within whatever range of movement feels comfortable for you. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is create a little bit of space behind you. We're going to take a large step back into a lunge position, stand tall, and then swap over to the opposite leg as well. So just alternating those step back lunges. I'm just using my arms just to control a little bit of my movement here. You can help counterbalance and just control your balance a little bit more as well. So just lower your back knee down towards the floor. Try to keep the spine very straight. So find something to look straight ahead. If that might be a screen or something that gives you the target to look straight around that sort of shoulder to chest height, that would be perfect. Okay, shake the legs out a little bit. Let's take an imaginary skip rope and just start to get your heart rate up a little bit more. So just getting you to push off the floor. Heart rate comes up. Give me a little scissoring with the legs, just forwards and backwards. Just start to push off the floor. Noticing about the imaginary skip rope is obviously there's no whipping on your legs, making it feel uncomfortable at any time. Okay, let's move from side to side. Good work. Okay. Now what we're going to do is going to take you into a little bit of a punching combination. Okay, so stand sideways for me, hands up to the side of your head. You're going to jab, cross, jab. We're going to jump 180 degrees, then jab, cross, jab. Now the goal here is just to keep your body moving, and at the same time just start to mobilize with the shoulder a little bit more, activate some of those muscles, and just start to put a little bit of force, movement, and a little bit of conditioning into the upper body. As I said, we've got some upper body movements coming into our second round of exercises, so we want to make sure that you're ready and prepared for all the movements that we've got coming up. Last one's here, and shake it out. So loosen yourself up a little bit. Let's take into a knee strike, so driving your knee up in a big dynamic movement. Then we're going to pivot the feet and take it over to the opposite side. So again, reach your arms high, so you get that big range of movement. So as you start to take your hands up above your head, you're going to start to increase your heart rate, and this big dynamic movement with the leg starts to get your hips prepared for deep lunges, squats, and also big ranges of movement when we start to travel as well. Okay, last one by the side. Here we go. Last set of 3, 2, 1. Okay, just loosen your body up. Just give me a little jumping jack. I want your heart rate up a little bit more. Starting to take your arms over your head a little bit higher will start to challenge your heart rate a little further. And then we'll hopefully have you all ready to start on our conditioning movements as well. So 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of recovery during the workout. We do each round, so we've got 3 rounds, but we do each round twice, so 2 circuits. Now the benefit of that means that you can start to challenge yourself doing the exercises as we move. So first exercise we're going to have a look at. We're going to create a little bit of space, and you're going to shuffle across, then take your hand and reach the outside of your foot. Then we're going to shuffle to the opposite side and reach down. Each time you do this, when you travel and you get to your end, I want you to lower yourself down, try and keep your chest up into a deep squat position. 45 seconds, let's get moving. So get that depth if you can. Now's the time that you've started to increase your heart rate a little bit more. I want you to get down deep into that position with your back straight. So remember in the warm-up, we did those half squats and we did those lunges. And I asked you to keep your back straight and have a target where you've looked at. Now's the time to refocus on that target, especially when you're in that deep squat position. As you reach across, you're maintaining that eye contact at whatever that target was earlier. Try and push off the feet so you move and travel quickly. You've got just over 5 seconds to go. Last one's here, and stop. Okay, shake out your body. The next exercise is called a walkout. So we're going to hip hinge, so by bending at the hips. Hands come down to the floor, into a press-up position, then push with your hands as you stand yourself up as tall as possible. Okay, 45 seconds, let's move. Hip hinge, walk into a press-up position, then push with your hands as you bring yourself back up to a standing tall position. Let's keep this movement going now. Now you've got an option of adding in a press-up if you'd like to. Now that press-up could be on the knees, then return to the plank, then walk your hands back. But it's an option if you wanted to do that. And obviously you can take that press-up into a full press-up as well as you push yourself back up tall. You've got the options, knees, or a full press-up. So I just want to get your body moving. Okay, relax there. Third exercise, what we're going to have a look at is a crossing balance lunge. So you're going to cross over, step back up, maintaining your balance into this deep knee position. So lower your back knee down just behind the ankle and across the opposite side. Come and join me, 45 seconds of work. You pick the depth. If you want to make this exercise a little bit harder, start to take a bigger movement and move down a little bit quicker. Now we've quite often done an exercise called the speed skater. So that is an option if you wanted to get into a speed skater and always push across. So you've got options. It can just be a nice, easy crossing lunge, or you can start to push off from one side to the other. Remember, we're going to do these exercises twice, so you can always go through the progression on the second round. I'll lead you through a couple of those on our second round. 5 seconds of work to go here, then we go into that lateral shuffle. 15 seconds recovery starts from now. Let's take it over to one side. So, option here, try and stay in that kinetic stance a little bit lower. This is going to challenge you because you're working those leg muscles consistently the whole time through here. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Shuffle over, reach across the body, and push over to the opposite side. The speed in which you move is what's going to give you your workout here. So try and travel. I'm going to give you an option. If you wanted to, it can literally just be a step your feet together from one side to the other. So if you haven't got much space around your room, that's what you could work to. But if we've got the space, then use it. 20 seconds to go. Pick up the tempo if you can. I want you to get after the workout that you want to today. Now we've done these workouts before, hopefully. If this is your first time, then welcome. What we'll do is just challenge you to do the best that you can do. That way then, it's not my fault if you can't move tomorrow. You pick the options. Okay, shake it out. Now what we're going to do is those walkouts again. So hinging from the hips, lean forward, walk out, into the plank position, and then walk yourself all the way back up again. 45 seconds, let's go. So that's your walkout. You have the option of adding in a press-up if you would like to. This is the exercise that I've selected, but if you wanted to, you can add in a press-up at the bottom of that movement at any time. Every single time you stand tall, make sure you really do come all the way upright. Don't just bring your legs up to a standing position. Realign your spine, roll the shoulders back, and then move down into that hinge position again, into the plank, back to the hinge, stand tall. So complete every single part of the move. It's not about the speed, it's about the control that you're working constantly. Okay, check it out. Crossing balance lunge. So here's what it looks like. This is your movement. If you would like a harder option, taking a bigger step and moving quicker are your progressions. If you really want to get after it a little bit more, it's a speed skater, and you put the foot back behind you in a dynamic movement. So you pick the intensity. I'm just going to stay here with that crossing balance lunge. But keeping your balance as you always take yourself into a curtsy position and then back out of that position as well. Good. So just over 20 seconds of work. Keep going here, and we'll give you 15 seconds recovery, and we'll take you into your second round of exercises. So we don't take a long rest in between the rounds. It's just about keeping that flow. 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of recovery before we move on. Keep that back knee coming down towards the floor. Your chin and chest stays tall. You're straight away looking ahead of you all the time. Okay, shake yourself up. Let's grab a mat, lie it out in front of you. Let's take you down onto the floor into a press-up position. Okay, here's what's going to happen. It's a hand release press-up, so lower your body to the floor. Release the hands, push yourself away from the floor. Lower yourself back down, release the hands. As you place the hands back on the floor, move dynamically into the next repetition. These can be done on the knees. Same process, the hips, chin, and chest all move off the floor at the same time. Making sure you release the hands each time. So remember, we're going to do these exercises twice. So if this is the first time you're doing it, start on your knees. And then the second round, we can go into those full press-ups as well. So release, push into the floor, and a quick movement. You always still a little bit of recovery at the bottom position. Right, let's get you ready for a side plank. Elbow underneath your shoulder, feet stacked upon each other. From here, we're going to hold a side plank up, and then we're going to rotate. So here's what it looks like. You've got 5 seconds before you start. Bring yourself up, reach under the body, bring yourself tall. Let's come together. Reach underneath your armpit, into that big rotation, and then bring yourself up tall. Keep your hips high. As you rotate, your shoulder comes towards the floor, bring yourself back up. Do one more. Okay, quick transition over to the opposite side. We'll do 20 seconds this side as well. Lift your hips up, feet stacked upon each other, rotate straight underneath the body, and then bring yourself up tall. Get that big range of movement, keep control. Good, keep moving. Reach underneath. Then bring yourself back up. Good work. Okay, relax there. Lie down on your backs for me. All I need to do is to make sure your head, shoulders, and all of your spine is in contact with the floor, and your knees are directly above your hips. With your feet bent at 90 degrees, you're going to lower one heel down to the floor, and then alternate the legs. Okay, so these are called heel drops. It's a great exercise for working the lower abdominals. So it's just a nice steady movement here. If you would like to progress this exercise a little bit more, reach your arms up overhead. That's going to just stretch the abdominal muscles a little bit more. As you start to elongate them, puts a little bit more tension on them. Another option is making that leg longer. So you're not working with a bent knee as much. It's not just here, you're reaching that leg away. So the longer your legs and the longer your arms away from each other are, that creates a leverage, which means that the muscles have to work a little bit harder to control the load. So work slowly, keep your challenge there, and relax. Okay, let's take you onto your front again, and we've got the hand release press up. So remember, the option was on your knees, press up, release, push into the floor to bring yourself up. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, let's go. The option is if you wanted to come off your knees, you would go into full press ups here. Okay, so full press ups, lower yourself down, hands off the floor, and a big strong push. The shoulders and the hips all move off the floor at the same time. Now when you're doing this one, think about squeezing your butt cheeks and your quads tight. And if you're doing that, your body stays in a strong plank position. Good work. Last 10 seconds. Good, 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 and relax there. Let's get ready for a side plank. Elbow underneath your shoulder, feet stacked upon each other. Let's go up into that side plank. We've got just over 5 seconds, so take yourself into a little bit of a position where you're ready. Stack the feet, arm reaches up, and then we rotate underneath your armpit. Reach up for me, hold that strong plank position. When you're ready, rotate under, and back up into that big, strong, tall position, and then rotate again. Good work. Trying to get the shoulder to come towards the floor, making sure that the shoulders are level, and you reach back up. Do one more, then a really quick transition to the opposite side. Straight up again, and let's reach over to the opposite side. Underneath the body, and then lift yourself up tall. Good work. Big reach, rotate under, then bring yourself up high. 5 seconds to go. And rest there. Okay, let's get ready for those heel blocks again. So head rested down onto the floor, spine rested onto the floor, knees directly above your hips, knees at 90 degrees. From here, that's your heel drop, lowering your heel down towards the floor, bring it back up again. Options, extending your arms and lengthening your leg. So you pick the intensity you want to work with. Good. Keep control. Keep steady. It's all about when you're working with your core, keep control, slow tempos, and if you need to, you can always find other ways to challenge your core. So if this isn't doing enough for you, here's an option for you. Lift the shoulders off the floor, chin and chest lift up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside, and just try to find that little bit of shaping because your torso is lifted off the floor, but your lower spine is completely stable on the floor as well. Good. Let's do the last one, and relax there. Okay, now let's get rid of the mat. And what the next exercise we're going to do is we're going to start taking into our third round. So this is our fitness focus now. We're going to do an exercise called a thruster. So it's like the bottom part of the burpee. Let me show you. Jump out, jump in, and I want you to straighten your spine. Let's go again. So jump out, jump in, straighten your spine. Okay? So maybe you can catch yourself in a reflection on the window, maybe the patio door, or a little bit of a mirror. And you can just see whether your spine comes up to a straight position. If it's not, come up a little bit higher. It could be here. It doesn't have to stay down quite so deep if that starts to make you struggle with your range. So jump out, jump in, stand tall, and then go again. This will start to strengthen the legs, but at the same time, you're going to get some endurance going into these leg muscles here. They've got to jump, land, and then hold that strong position. Right. Okay, shake it out. Let's take it down to the floor, hands directly in front of you. Now this movement is called a kick sit. So you're going to pivot on one foot, and I want you to literally sit down right next to your hands. Then pivot on the foot, bring back to the center, and over to the opposite side. Let's go, 45 seconds. Pivoting onto the foot, from one side through to the other. Good work. Now try and get that big range of movement. If you find that your mobility is really challenged here, take your hand off the floor, and it gives you a little bit more room and stability as you come through. Two hands starts to keep you in quite a leaning forwards position. That can challenge you if you have a lot of mobility. So feel free to lift an arm up so you can truly get your hips all the way kicking through in a smooth action. Okay, relax there for me. Now the third exercise in this third block is going to be a toe reach. So I'm going to take you to a plank position. You're going to reach towards your toe, back to the plank position, and then over to the opposite side. So that's your movement for 45 seconds. Let's go. Now when you're doing this movement, if you want to make it harder, have to press up, and then be strong as you push through one arm, all the way to reach towards the toes. So you pick the intensity you want to work with. You can literally just be reaching as close towards your toes as possible, going into that hinge movement. Or if you want to challenge yourself even further, start to add that press up in. Just get the press up quickly on the knees, and then push yourself towards your toes as well. So you've got options here. Again, onto the knees, press up, push toward, then reach towards your toes. So just try and find that plank position as quick as possible. Okay, that's that. 15 seconds recovery. Then we do all three of those exercises again. So it's the thrusters, the kick sits, and the toe reaches. Okay? The thrusters, the bottom of the burpee movement. Try and keep that back to be straight each time. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Keep that deep hip position. Try and get your back to be straight. If it needs to be a little bit higher, that's absolutely fine. As long as that back has straightness to it, that's great. It can be lower and deep, as long as your back stays straight. We've got 10 seconds to go. Keep that deep position. And shake it out, loosen up a little bit. Okay. Oh, this legs starting to burn. 3 times today gets you working. Okay. Kick 6, kicking underneath the body. Starting in just over 5 seconds. Get yourself hands down. Remember, you can lift a hand or keep the hand on the floor. Let's get moving. So this is the hand lifted. Bring your hand back and alternate. So you pivot on the foot. That's the secret method. As you pivot, sit your bum right down on the floor. And then push yourself out of that deep mobilizing position. And really start to get deep into the hips because your knees are so close to your chest in this position as well. They're really good for mobility movement, but hard work and a tough exercise, especially in confined spaces, which will challenge your mobility and endurance as well. So your heart rate's going to start to go up now. You're doing a good job. Hang in there. 4, 3, let's get one more in, 2, and relax. Okay. 2 reaches to finish with. Stay with me, team. 45 seconds of work, and a little bit of yoga just to ease off some of those tension points. Then we'll go. Okay, 3, 2, plank position. Reach to the toe, back to plank. Option to press up if you want it. This is our homeward stretch now. Just keep yourself moving as much as possible. Breathe in, keep control. Making sure you come back to that strong plank position each time. I don't want your bums being left up in the air. Let the hips come back into an extended position so we're not keeping that fold and bent movement. Yeah, keep reaching. You've got the option to press it if you want it. There's 10 seconds left to go. Good control, and relax there. Okay, we'll stay down here. Just roll through the shoulders, loosen them up a little bit. What we'll do is just take a little chest stretch, bring your hands behind you, lift your chin and chest tall, let your heart rate come down a little bit. So you start to feel that stretch coming across the chest and through the shoulders. Okay, just loosen yourself up. Next movement is going to go into an up dog. So I'm going to keep your knees on the floor to begin with. I'm going to lower my hips towards the floor and look up towards where the ceiling and the walls meet. Now if you're looking outside, just enjoy the view. Look up towards the sun. See if there's any clouds up there. Now dig your toes underneath, push into your hands, bum goes up into the air, look towards your toes, just pedal your heels in it. Slowly walking those heels out, just to feel a stretch coming through the calves. Let's come into that up dog again. This time I'm not going to put my knees on the floor, just going to hover, roll the shoulder blades back and down, push into that down facing dog position again. Going to hold it this time. Okay, now I'm going to bring one foot right up towards my hands. Now if it hasn't quite got there, just feel free to wiggle your foot forwards, reposition it, and then reach your hand up into the sky. Push your back heel away from the rest of the body. You get that deep stretch all the way through. Good. Now from here, bring your hand down. Push back that down facing dog, over towards the opposite side. So again, physically move that foot if you feel like it can go a little higher. Reach your hand high, push your back heel away. Hold that position for me. Good. Now when you're ready, bring your hand down inside the foot. Push back down facing dog one last time. Lower your knees to the floor. Now drop your heels towards your hips towards your heels. Just walk your fingertips forwards to get stretch all the way through your back muscles here. Excellent. And just slowly roll up through your spine, each vertebrae at a time. Loosen yourself up a little bit. Let's take into a standing quadricep stretch, so just looking straight ahead of you. Take a balanced position onto one leg. Bring your foot into the palm of your hands. Slight bend in that standing foot. Now think about pushing your hip forwards. And think about pushing your foot into the palm of your hand to develop that stretch a little further. Good. That same foot you're holding, put it in front of the opposite, and then just lean forwards. Reach down towards the toes for a little bit deeper stretch. And then slowly bring yourself up and reset your foot standing. Over to the opposite side, so the opposite foot comes into the palm of your hand. Slight bend in the standing foot. Lengthen through your chin and chest. Push the foot into the palm of your hand to develop the stretch further. And again, that same foot you're holding steps in front of your standing leg and then reach down towards your toes. Excellent. Slowly bring yourself back up, shake your legs out a little bit. Thank you very much for joining us for this Matrix Fitness live workout. Hope you enjoyed it. We will see you again next Tuesday at 7:45 in the morning, 12 o'clock lunchtime, and also 5 o'clock in the evening, and again next Thursday as well. Until then, look after yourselves and see you soon. Bye everyone.